emotions are part of the Stanley Cup Finals.
And the series edge is now in the hands of the Bruins. Hi again, everyone. Welcome into Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse. Our wall-to-wall coverage continues from Boston, where the Blackhawks get some good news about the Hawks. In St. Louis, the Cubs bench one of their cornerstones, at least for a night, while the White Sox head to the Twin Cities on a high note. We're getting heated with Blackhawks fever on Sportsnet Central right now.
This is Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse.
Maye threw onto the slot, second a shot off the glove of Crawford. And then another try, score! Hustling back in is Bolin. Threw one across, shot, score!
You got Chara and Pickle. They were going at it right in front of Tuukka Rask. Now you got Marchand and Shaw. The Super Pests are engaged right now. Both of them have their gloves off.
And the siren goes, and the Bruins get a shutout win. They're ahead 2-1 in the best of 7.
Well, after getting dominated from start to finish in Game 3, the Blackhawks have a day off in Boston to reflect on what they'll need to do to get back on track in the Stanley Cup Final. Let's take you live to Beantown, where Chris Bowden has more on the Monday night mauling at TD Garden. Chris, take it away.
All right, good afternoon or good evening, Mark. No practice for the Blackhawks today except for the scratches from last night. That group did also include Ben Smith, who was on the ice. So let's get into that. Joe Quenneville said that Jose is likely to play in Game 4 tomorrow night with that mysterious upper body injury that kept him out of Game 3, even though he was participating in the morning skate as well as the pregame skate. But Ben Smith, who showed some playoff moxie a couple of years ago versus Vancouver, was the guy who was inserted into the lineup in his place. Kind of a curious move, considering that Smith did not partake in the pregame warm-up at all. And this is the way Joe Quenneville explained things when pressed on it earlier today.
Ben was ready. I know that he was doing everything he can. We didn't want to, we're hopeful that Host was playing and Ben was doing everything to get ready. He would have taken warm-up if we wanted him to take warm. He knew that there's a chance he was going to play. So he was getting himself ready. I just didn't want to tip our hand that, there's something going on.
Didn't really have the typical game day preparation. I don't even know if he had a nap or a decent meal, but he didn't even take warm-up. He just kind of showed up to the rink, put the skates on, and jumped into the Stanley Cup Finals. So for a guy that works as hard as Benny does to be rewarded like that, I thought he played great.
Smith and Sharp flanked Dave Bolland on jumbled lines that were difficult to slap a number on. But after Bolland provided hope of being a factor in the series early, the Bruins' third line has been instrumental in taking this series lead. And Bolland has been noticeable for the wrong reasons, losing 10 of 15 faceoffs the last 2 games and going to the box 4 times.
You don't want to just throw it in front, and you got nobody in front, and it's an easy access. It's easy out for them to grab the puck and go out. And be more patient and be sure that there is someone at the net that when you are throwing it there, that they're sitting there and they can get a rebounder. Or they can put it in.
Tough night. Certainly you can't take 3. And, I think you got to be smarter about it when you do take 1, that maybe you put yourself in that spot again. But let's make sure we learn from that.
But it does not seem likely the Blackhawks can win the series without their 2 main stars finding a way to beat Tuukka Rask, Zdeno Chara, and the rest of this Bruins D. Perhaps they're discovering the tough way what Sidney Crosby and the Penguins already learned. And the coach was again asked about the chance of reuniting them to see if it gets both going as it did against L.A.
The scoring, and we're talking about the last couple of days here, it's scoring chances and scoring goals has got not a lot of room, not a lot of space. We'll take them anywhere in any way, and we'll see how we go along here, what the lines will be.
Kane and Taves have combined for just 1 assist through the first 3 games of this series. Now, playoffs change quickly from period to period, game to game within each series. And the Blackhawks are only down 2 games to 1, but it would go a long way to extending this series and giving them hope of a second Stanley Cup in 4 years if they start showing some offensive indications, power play, face-off circle, and everything else here in game number 4 tomorrow night before a 2-game break between games 4 and 5. That's going to do it live from Boston. Chris Bowden, Comcast Sportsnet. Mark, let's send it back to you in Chicago.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. We'll see you a little bit later in the show. And we invite you at home to get interactive on Twitter. What would you suggest to try to improve the Blackhawks' struggling power play? Remember to use the hashtag HawksTalk. We'll have some of the best responses a little bit later in this half hour. And much more from Boston is still ahead. Former NHL player Nick Kypreos joins Chris to talk about the Hawks' need for better scoring chances against the Bruins and what they can do about that not-so-powerful power play. It's all coming up in about 12 minutes.
That ball hit deep into center field. Stretch! Get on back there. That's going to clear the bases, and the Sox lead at 4-2. Yes!
Dion Vicieto's three-run triple helped the White Sox avoid the embarrassment of a four-game sweep at the hands of the Houston Astros, who have the worst record in the American League right now. The Sox entered last night's game with only one extra base hit with the bases loaded, but Tank changed all that with his sixth-inning blast off Bud Norris. Tonight, Dylan Axelrod gets the starting assignment as the Sox begin a three-game series against the Twins at Target Field. Axelrod beat his mound opponent tonight, Mike Pelfrey, back on May 15th. Axelrod allowed 3 runs over 5 1/3 innings, but Vicieto and Adam Dunn homered off Pelfrey as the Sox went on to an easy win. Plenty of offense in this one. They beat the Twinkies 9-4. Now here's a look at the pitching matchups for the three-game series in Minneapolis. White Sox ace Chris Sale faces Kevin Correa tomorrow night, with John Danks taking on Scott Diamond in the series finale Thursday afternoon. We will have the finale for you right here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Cubs continue their four-game series in St. Louis tonight. And how about this? Dale Swaim has decided to give slumping Anthony Rizzo a rare night off. Rizzo hitting just .157 during the month of June. He hasn't homered since back on May 19th. Now, Swaim moved Rizzo down to the 5th spot in the batting order to try to take some of the pressure off. He's only gone 3 for 14 since that switch. Cody Ransom will start at first base tonight against Cardinals 10-game winner Adam Wainwright, while Rizzo sits for the first time all year.
You know, we kind of had a nice day in New York. You know, had the 3 hits in New York. Thought maybe it was going to help out, but you know, it wasn't one of those. You know, the blooper didn't help out. Maybe just a one-day fix. So, but yeah, I think it's just time to, you know, let him kick back and just take a breather. You know, we've seen Rizzo hit fastballs. We've seen him overcome, you know, the deficiencies of hitting a fastball. We've seen him have a lot of success and hit, you know, good pitching and all kinds of pitching. So it's not a red flag that way.
Cubs will be searching for some offense against Adam Wainwright tonight. Well, despite leading 2-1 in the Stanley Cup final, the Bruins aren't quite as confident as you might think heading into Game 4. Daniel Paille has been a revelation for Boston, but he's not the first guy to come out of nowhere to have success on hockey's biggest stage. And speaking of finals, the Heat are on the brink of elimination on South Beach tonight. From the Parker shot to the LeBron block, we'll relive the best memories from the finals when Sportsnet Central rolls on. And don't forget, we are just about 37 minutes from first pitch between the Cubs and Cardinals tonight. Plenty of time to order your pizza now at papajohns.com.
Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet is presented to you by AT&T Uverse.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that Uverse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watch TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted one day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get Uverse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Blue Man Group. For tickets, visit blueman.com.
Legendary names. Personal stories from the boys in the hall.
A father and a son.
And today's stars who dream to join them.
On my calendar every time I'm in town to make sure they come.
See them on boysinthehall.com. Celebrated by Subway, where winners eat.
Chevy Malibu offers an EPA-estimated 34 mpg highway.
Malibu.
Want safety? It has 10 standard airbags.
Wow, Malibu.
Right now, the deal on one of these is like...
Malibuya?
Malibuya.
Malibuya. Malibuya.
Malibuya.
Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, get this great lease on a 2013 Chevy Malibu LS for around $169 a month.
Back over again and led on out for someone. Paille, he scores! Paille! And the Bruins have won it in overtime. And then another try. Score! And it's Paille. 1-0.
Well, not many people would have expected Daniel Paille to score the winning goal in back-to-back Stanley Cup final games. But then again, the last guy to do it isn't exactly a household name either. Former Blackhawk Fernando Pisani had consecutive game winners for Edmonton back in 2006. Now to the modern day, the Bruins not feeling overconfident despite that impressive win on home ice last night.
Those first two games could have definitely went either way. Last night they had their chances. And they won the first game, so we obviously didn't have them where we wanted them. The second one, like I said, overtime could have went either way. It's been a good series. It's been an exciting series. So I'm assuming that next game will be no different.
We're happy, we're up 2-1, but we're really focused on this next game. It's going to be a huge game. We know they're going to come out extremely hard, and we have to be ready.
It's been a pretty hard-fought series to this point. It's a couple of games that go into overtime, games that can go either way. I think both teams have had their times where they've carried the play, but I think, all in all, it's been a pretty close series.
Don't forget to tune in for the latest edition of Blackhawks Fever tonight at 11 o'clock only on Comcast Sportsnet. Pat Boyle and Steve Conroy take a look back at what went wrong in Game 3 and how the Hawks can get back on track in Game 4 tomorrow night. Wow, there could be a new NBA champion crowned this evening down on South Beach. Here's a look back at how San Antonio has grabbed a 3-2 advantage over the mighty Heat. Game 1 in Miami. It's now known as the Tony Parker shot. He almost turned it over a couple of times, but then with the shot clock winding down, he ducks under LeBron James and banks in the clinching shot. 21 points for Parker as the Spurs took the opening game 92-88. A little wizardry there to help San Antonio steal home court. The Heat bounced back in Game 2. LeBron's block on Thiago Splitter highlighted an impressive all-around performance by the champs. Miami used a 33-5 second-half run to even the series in impressive fashion. They blew out the Spurs 103-84. The series shifted to San Antonio for Game 3, and it was bombs away for the home team. The Spurs knocked down an NBA Finals record 16 3-pointers. Danny Green scored a game-high 27 as the Spurs embarrassed the Heat. They won it by 36, 113-77. But Miami's big three came to play in a must-win Game 4. LeBron scored 33. Dwayne Wade had his best game of the postseason with 32. And even the much-maligned Chris Bosh contributed. 20 points, 13 rebounds. The big three combined for 85 points in a 109-93 win that tied the series at 2 games apiece. And then in Game 5 Sunday night, Greg Popovich decided to give fading veteran Manu Ginobili his first start of the season. And the 35-year-old Argentinian responded with 24 points and 10 assists, helping the Spurs move 1 win away from their 5th championship. They beat the Heat 114-104. So judging by the back-and-forth nature of the series, you'd expect LeBron and company to turn up the defensive pressure and somehow find a way to force the deciding Game 7. Little-known Spurs guard Danny Green has been the MVP of the finals to this point. He's hit a record 25 three-pointers. But Chris Bosh suggested this morning that Green won't be given any open shots in Game 6. And the opposing coaches are taking a much different approach into what could be the final game of the NBA season.
This is just another game. You go play. Obviously, it's important. Everybody's excited, but you just go play the game. It's a big deal. It's not the most important thing in the world, as we all know, and it's a big deal for a while. You go after it, and then life goes on.
That's what really makes ultimate competition the best. You don't know. It's an unknowable future. And when the stakes are higher, expectations, that's when you want even more of this. That's when you feel most alive. All your chips are in as a group, this is where you can collectively rise to the occasion.
Gotta love Greg Popovich. Just another game. We're going to take you back to Boston to see how the Hawks can regain the edge in the Stanley Cup Finals. Sportsnet Central skates on after a quick break.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Nice car. Not so nice scratch. Wouldn't it be nice if removing ugly scratches from your car was this easy? Now with new Finish Scratch Doctor, removing surface scratches is easy. In fact, independent laboratory tests have proven Scratch Doctor to be the best scratch remover available. Scratch Doctor with advanced microtechnology also removes paint scrapes, scuffs, haze, and swirl marks. So get Scratch Doctor.
#1 rated Scratch Doctor available at O'Reilly Auto, Walgreens, Pep Boys, Target, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Denny's red, white, and blue plate specials are as American as apple pie. Especially the apple pie French toast. Try it with our new mild or bold coffee roasts. Only at Denny's.
Cut costs, naturally.
That's all it says?
No, it says we have to do more with less.
Less bandwidth?
That they want more of.
How much more?
A lot more.
What about traffic spikes?
We'll need a scalable data solution.
For less money, we'll need a miracle.
A miracle. Jinx, buy me a router.
What are you, 12?
With Comcast Business Ethernet, you save 30% over phone company technology. Call today. Comcast Business drives business.
Unbelievable.
This is awesome.
Come on, really? I knew he was going to shank it.
I didn't shank it!
Seriously, what are we supposed to do with this?
What if I just, No.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Nope, don't do that. Sorry.
He's really in there. That's slime dripping off?
It is.
Yep. That's nice.
Wouldn't it be great if every situation had helpful notes? That's why at Great Clips, we have clip notes. Notes that say exactly what you like. So don't just get a cut, get your hair cut. Great Clips. It's going to be great.
We continue on Sportsnet Central from a town that is buzzing sports-wise. From Doc Rivers to Tim Tebow, and now a hockey team 2 wins away from the Stanley Cup. Blackhawks have to do something about that. If they do, they'll have to be a whole lot better than they've been in the face-off circle.
I think guys that are taking the draws have taken enough to know that there's a difference between taking them at home and on the road. We've had a strong face-off team all season. Bergeron had a great night yesterday taking draws, but it's not just on the centerman taking them. We went back and kind of looked at things. There's a number of 50-50 pucks that we can come up with as wingers. So again, you don't just point the finger at the one guy. It's really a team effort to get that puck back.
Back now at the TD Garden, pleased to be joined by former NHL player Nick Kypreos, who now does work for Sportsnet Canada, joining us here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Blackhawks were saying last night after Game 3 they were okay with the chances that they generated offensively. Do you agree with that? And is okay really good enough against this team?
Well, first of all, okay isn't good enough. And, Chris, I don't agree with it. And I see where they're coming from. You got to remain positive, especially publicly. But internally, I think there's some big concerns. And I think the score was rather flattering for Chicago here the other night. I don't think that they got quality scoring chances. I don't think they put the puck in a position to get even second or third chances. A lot of 40-foot shots that had no purpose, no ability to score, and no ability to create a rebound. They've got to go back to the drawing board here and find different ways to sustain pressure. If they did have any pressure at all, it was for about 5 seconds, and the Boston Bruins would be able to get the puck out. I think there's a lot of adjustments that Chicago has to make, or else they're down 3-1 in this series going back home.
Speaking of adjustments, the power play has needed for quite some time with all that talent. And they were down one of their guys last night in Marian Hossa, but they're in a long 0 for stretch, 1 for 29, I think, in their last 9 games. What do you see out there? What would you try doing?
Well, I don't see very strong entries into the Boston zone. I don't see good support. I don't see good dump-ins in terms of retrieving the puck, and they're certainly not getting quality shots on net. I think they probably had 4 shots in over 9 or 10 minutes on the power play. Again, that's not good enough, and you obviously want to give Boston the credit that they deserve, but there's going to have to be more pushback by their star players, and they have to find a way to get Taves and Kane going, and that's up to the coaching staff. That's what they're paid to do.
And if they're to do that, I mean, we were talking here a moment ago, you were mentioning potentially putting some of those guys together, even if it's the risk of putting them against Bergeron and Char at the same time.
Yeah, and we know to start this series that it was well known that Coach Quenneville would split up Taves and Kane, and thought that it'd be a lot more difficult for Chara. But at this point now, you got to be proactive here and not worry about the Boston Bruins. And you're not getting quality chances out of any of your lines. So at best, maybe you load up one. And I'm not saying that Kane and Taves have to play constantly in Game 4, but there has to be enough looks that they can push the Boston Bruins back. And they're their star players. They have to find a way to get going, or else this will be a short series.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a nutshell here, Boston has pretty much carried the play with the exception of maybe 3 periods through the first 3 games, and something has to be done quickly, or else, a lot of people were thinking 6 and 7, but it could be shorter.
It could be shorter, and again, the forecheck of the Boston Bruins and the pressure that they're putting on Seabrook and Keith is real important. They're not able to jump up on the rush. How many times did we see Seabrook throughout these playoffs find a way to join the rush and then bury a goal? That's just not happening here. So for 200 feet, Boston's really carried the play here, and the star players have to find different ways to get to the net. Or again, as we said, Chris, this will be a short series.
All right, Nick, thanks for the time. We appreciate the knowledge.
Okay, thanks.
All right, that's Nick Kiprius of Sportsnet Canada. I'm Chris Bowden, Comcast Sportsnet with the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup Finals. Back to you.
All right, Chris, great job. Earlier, we asked for your suggestions to try to improve the Hawks' power play. Adam says, I'd like to see Bickle on the first power play unit rather than Shaw, and a face-off win would be nice, too. Say that again. Tanya, making it simple. Shoot the puck, shoot the puck, shoot the puck, and repeat for 2 minutes. Sounds like a good idea. Brian, go a little extreme, saying, pull Corey Crawford, make it a 6-on-4. Maybe they finally score a goal that way. We thank you for all your responses. Well, is David Beckham possibly interested in kicking for an NFL team? We'll examine the global possibilities as we get ready to wrap up Sportsnet Central.
I knew when he asked me on the second date to go to a Cubs-Cards game that he was a good catch. Catch.
It's kind of a theme in our lives. We have a gnome.
A nutcracker. We have a lizard named Wrigley.
It's a bearded dragon.
It's a lizard.
We have a trash can, Cubs toaster.
We even have some dirt from Wrigley.
And I like to think that it's all tastefully done.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that U-verse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watched TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted 1 day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get U-verse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good. Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower.
Hey, you've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
The Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus get our most advanced DVR upgrade for free.
SaferWholesale.com has amazing deals on thousands of items. Keep the kids occupied this season with inflatable bouncers from $399. We also sell ATVs from $399 and go-karts from $999. From motorsports to beauty products, SaferWholesale.com saves you money. Call us now at 866-606-3991. Visit our website at SaferWholesale.com. That's SaferWholesale.com.
Pro Jersey Sports in Downers Grove, your outlet for authentic wear. Now, with double the space at our new location, Pro Jersey Sports has the largest selection of Chicago team wear anywhere. Get ready for each season with authentic wear from your favorite team. We have something for most any team, college or pro, plus throwback jerseys and autographed memorabilia. Pro Jersey Sports, you won't believe the selection or prices. Stop by our new location or visit us online. Pro Jersey Sports, 75th and Lamont in Downers Grove, your outlet for authentic wear.
Well, apparently the LA Clippers decided the asking price to acquire Celtics head coach Doc Rivers and future Hall of Famer Kevin Garnett was just too high. The Clippers pulled out of those trade talks with Boston. Now they're bringing in Byron Scott and Brian Shaw for second interviews as they look to replace their fired coach Vinny Del Negro. Mets phenom Matt Harvey has been the talk of baseball, and Harvey pitched another gem this afternoon in Atlanta. We pick it up in the fourth inning. Mets already up by a run when Harvey's battery mate, John Buck, provides a little extra support. He launches a solo shot to left and makes it 2-0 in favor of the New Yorkers. Meanwhile, Harvey was dealing. Through 6 innings, he was absolutely untouchable. He allowed no hits while striking out 12. But then in the 7th inning, his no-hit bid came to an end, courtesy of Jason Hayward. He chops one there. Harvey comes up with it, but look, no one's covering the bag. No-hit bid is done. Harvey had a career-high 13 strikeouts. He gets the win. Mets beat Atlanta 4-3. And finally here on Sportsnet Central, David Beckham says thanks, but no thanks to the NFL. According to a report in the UK's Daily Mirror, one NFL scout contacted Beckham earlier this offseason to gauge his possible interest in trying out as a kicker. Now, Beckham impressed with his ability to boost in American football while taping an 07 Adidas commercial with Reggie Bush. But then again, you might have to worry about bending too many kicks wide left. Thanks for watching Sportsnet Central, presented by AT&T Uverse. Time to clear the decks for Cubs baseball. Len and JD have the call from Busch Stadium. It's a matchup of aces. Jeff Samardzija facing Adam Wainwright and the first-place Cardinals. Enjoy the baseball here on Comcast.
Look at him, living on cloud nine with that Uverse wireless receiver.
You see, in my day, when my mom was repainting the house, you couldn't just set up a TV in the basement. I mean, come on.
Nope. We only watch TV in the rooms that had a TV outlet.
Yeah, if we wanted to watch TV someplace else, we'd have to go to my Aunt Sally's. Have you ever sat in a plastic-covered couch?
You're missing a good game over here.
Those kids wouldn't have lasted one day in our shoes.
Add a wireless receiver. Call to get Uverse TV for just $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Rethink possible.
And carry the one. Ooh, everything seems to be adding up just right. An Arlington Acura deal you'll pick once you see our arithmetic.
Lease our most popular models: a 2013 Acura TL, only $249 a month, or an MDX, just $359 a month.
Bob Rohrman. You owe it to yourself to see us before you buy. Bob Rohrman's Arlington Acura and Palatine, just 1 block west of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
Oh, we single-handedly won that Cubs game, without a doubt. None of that happens without us. Bottom of the ninth. What was the score? 4-3?
No, it was 3-2.
3-2.
Cubs are losing.
Cubs are down 3-2. I'm trying to get this "Let's Go Cubs" chant going, trying to get the crowd into it.
It wasn't the right time.
I know.
That's why you're terrible at starting chants, because it's all timing.
Anyway, Todd Walker comes up with a huge pinch hit single to put runners on first and second. This guy stands up.
Just stands up
and what'd you do?
Let's go, Cubs!
On the second chant, the entire stadium is right there with him.
Ben brought the energy into Wrigley Field. I mean, this is what the Cubs needed. Michael Barrett is coming up next, and he hits a ball to the right field corner. The Cubs went on a 2-run double from Barrett. All started from
"Let's Go Cubs."
This guy's chant.
From a simple chant. Let's go, Cubs! Let's go, Cubs! Let's go, Cubs! He single-handedly won a Cubs game.
Single-handedly, tri-handedly won the game.
It was the right time.
The parking reminder feature on the My Chevrolet app will cleverly help you find your way back to your car almost anywhere. It's available on Malibu and on every Chevrolet. The phones that connect us to our lives now connect us to our cars. That's American ingenuity to find new roads.
appreciate it, man. I'm a big fan.
Me too.
This one goes out to a couple friends of mine.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
From steamy St. Louis, Missouri, we're set for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. Hot temperatures, we've reached the upper 80s here this evening as the Cubs and Cardinals play game 2 of a 4-game weekday series. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays, Len Casper. First pitch about 15 minutes from now. Great matchup on the mound. It'll be Jeff Samardzija against Adam Wainwright. The Cubs are 2-2 on this trip, but the theme all year is they continue to get excellent starting pitching.
Yeah, and that's really been the case of late. Last 4 starts, the starting pitching has been outstanding for the Cubs. Last night, Travis Wood, very good against this tough Cardinal lineup, allowed just 3 earned runs and 7 very efficient innings to go right on down the line. Garza outstanding in his start. Feldman and Jackson to get that series started in New York, both really, really good. Unfortunately, the club just 2-2 in those 4 games.
Jeff Samardzija's made 14 starts, JD. He's got a sub-350 ERA, but only 3 wins.
Yeah, run support's been an issue for him at times. The bullpen has let him down. The last couple times he has not been as sharp, so he's looking to bounce back and join that group of guys we just showed you with another solid start here tonight against St. Louis.
And they'll have their ace on the mound. It's Adam Wainwright. He's tied for the Major League lead with 10 wins.
Yeah, 10 wins. He's only walked 9 batters all year to go along with those 97 strikeouts. That strikeout to walk ratio, that's historic what this guy's doing right now. He's won his last 5 starts.
Cardinals are probably the best team on paper, at least in the National League, if not all of baseball. And they've got an MVP candidate. Albert Pujols is no longer here. It's the catcher, Yadier Molina.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch the evolution of Molina as a player. When he came into the league, a very good defensive guy, could really throw. Now he's turned into a very good offensive player as well, leading the league in batting average. Right now, he delivered the big blow last night, a 2-run double that gave the Cardinals their 2-0 lead that they ultimately built into a 5-2 win. Does it all, blocks the ball, great thrower, a smart guy. Tony La Russa talked about him as a manager on the field. Just one heck of an asset for the St. Louis Cardinals.
So last year it was Buster Posey, the catcher of the Giants, who won the MVP, and certainly Molina staking his claim this year. He had the game-winning hit in the ballgame last night. Coming up, we'll chat with our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney about Anthony Rizzo not in the lineup tonight for the Cubs. We're getting set for one of the great rivalries in all of baseball, the Cubs and the Cardinals from St. Louis.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Every season tells a story.
Are you kidding me?
New stars rise.
Unbelievable.
Old records fall.
Goodbye.
Dreams are chased. And miracles happen. Bring home all of this year's defining moments with NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV. Every game, every Sunday, everything a fan could ask for, now less than $2 a game. For the most live NFL action anywhere, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS today.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back to St. Louis, getting set for the Cubs and Cardinals game 2. And our Cubs insider Patrick Mooney is brought to you by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. And Patrick, Anthony Rizzo not getting a start tonight for the first time all year in games 69 of the season. So now Starlin Castro is the only Cub to have started every game. What was the reasoning for Dale tonight?
As Dale said, it's kind of a way for Anthony to kind of kick back and take a breather. I believe he hasn't hit a home run in exactly a month now. And clearly we're approaching kind of his one-year mark since his call-up in the big leagues. And I think part of it is making adjustments. Part of it is just kind of the natural flow of a season where you're going to be in a slump, and obviously it's magnified now when you're in the middle of the order, you have the big contract, and the Cubs overall as an offense are kind of scuffling.
Big focus of this offense, really of this team right now, are the two guys with the long-term contracts, Rizzo and Castro. How do you think both guys have handled that over the last year plus?
Yeah, we've asked Rizzo this, General Manager Jed Hoyer this, kind of a number of different ways, and everyone says the same thing. I think that these guys are naturally wired, a certain way. They're competitive people, and they understand that there's a lot of pressure and responsibility that comes with it. But I don't think it's necessarily weighing on Rizzo's mind now. He actually kind of heated up earlier this year when the contract negotiations kind of played out and they reached an agreement. I think they're hoping for the same thing again, just kind of that natural ebb and flow here.
The Cardinals have the best record in all of baseball. We saw Shelby Miller, one of their best prospects, now here. Left-hander Segrist last night was like a 41st round pick. Where do they find these guys?
Exactly. They have the Cardinal way. That's kind of what we talk about, the Cubs way. They have it. They look for certain attributes in players. I think even some of their pitchers, are position players that they see certain tools and arm strength. And I do think that's one of the things Jed Hoyer touched upon yesterday, as we're kind of everyone's second-guessing Dale for Carlos Marmol, and the reality is the Cubs don't have those guys waiting in the minor league system yet. They can't just pluck a guy out of Iowa and put him in the ninth inning, and that's really what the Cardinals have, guys throwing 100-mile-an-hour heat in the late innings.
Always appreciate the time, Patrick Mooney. Check him out at csnchicago.com. We're set for the Cubs and the Cardinals coming up. Ozzie Smith making one of his many diving catches now in statue form.
Chevy Malibu offers an EPA estimated 34 mpg highway.
Malibu.
Want safety? It has 10 standard airbags.
Wow, Malibu.
Right now, the deal on one of these is like...
Malibuya?
Malibuya.
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 Visit your local Chevy dealer today. Right now, get this great lease on a 2013 Chevy Malibu LS for around $169 a month.
This windy salad does taste like summer.
I know.
It's like lying in a hammock.
It's like a rainbow.
Wendy's Berry Almond Chicken Salad is back. Fresh strawberries and blueberries with warm grilled chicken.
Now that's better.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'd rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Snackin' with Sasquatch. Feed your wild side.
This season on Comcast Sportsnet, watch history unfold as the Young Guns on the north side look to put on a show for Chicago. Meet the Slingers, the Defenders, and of course, the Hitmen. They'll protect their hallowed ground and give you a reason to cheer. Watch the Young Guns of the Chicago Cubs all season on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan, back in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you back out to St. Louis for the first pitch between the Cubs and their rival, the Cardinals, in just a bit. Dale Swaim has decided to give slumping Anthony Rizzo the evening off. Rizzo hitting just a .157 in June, has not homered since May 19. Swaim moved him down to the 5 spot in the batting order recently just to try to take some of the pressure off, but Rizzo 3 for 14 since the switch. Cody Ransom starts at first tonight against the Cardinals, and their 10-game winner, Adam Wainwright. Rizzo sits for the first time all season long.
You know, we kind of had a nice day in New York. You know, had the 3 hits in New York. Thought maybe it was going to help out, but you know, it wasn't one of those. You know, the blooper didn't help out. Maybe just a one-day fix. So, but yeah, I think it's just time to, you know, let him kick back and just take a breather. You know, we've seen Rizzo hit fastballs. We've seen him overcome, you know, the deficiencies of hitting a fastball. We've seen him have a lot of success and hit, you know, good pitching and all kinds of pitching. So it's not a red flag that way.
All right, afternoon baseball, Mets and Braves, 4th inning. Mets up 1. Matt Harvey's catcher, John Buck, says, "Hey, Matt, here's some early run support for you, buddy." Blasting the solo jack to left, 2-0 Metropolitans. Meanwhile, Harvey, flat out filthy. Look at that. Through 6 innings, untouchable, allowing no hits, striking out 12. And in the 7th, Jason Hayward leads off, and the no-no is gone on an infield hit. He is safe at first, no one there. No-hitter done. He finished with a career-high 13 Ks. Mets win it 4-3. All right, and that's going to do it from here. Don't forget, join me with Todd Hollandsworth after the game for Cubs Post-Game Live, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Cubs and Cards, tee it up.
There are man-eating sharks in every ocean, but we still swim. Every second, somewhere in the world, lightning strikes. But we still play in the rain because bad things can't stop us from making our lives good.
Everyone is looking for it. That momentum. That spark. That juice. For their business, their lives, their dreams. Well, here it is. First Midwest Bank. We're growing. We're local. We've got momentum. Want some? First Midwest Bank. Bank with momentum.
Excuse me, do you have all the popular smartphones?
We do.
AT&T?
Yes.
T-Mobile?
Sure.
Sprint? Verizon?
Got it.
Do you make commission on this?
No.
Do you have all the plans?
We do.
Does this make my head look big?
No.
Can you activate all of these?
Yes, we can.
Can you transfer my contacts?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm pretty popular.
No problem.
You're good. What number am I thinking of?
9.
Yes.
Right now, get a free Droid DNA by HTC with a 2-year activation on Verizon. Only at Best Buy.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
This is the kind of night we were looking forward to. We had a 2-hour rain delay before Game 1 last evening. Cardinals won the game 5-2. 83 degrees. And a great pitching matchup. How about Jeff Samardzija and Adam Wainwright?
Two big right-handers that really go after hitters. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Power arm from Samardzija, one of the best fastballs in the game. Wainwright, more of a, a mixed fastball, curveball. Both guys really know how to execute a game plan. Samardzija's task a little tougher because he's up against this St. Louis lineup that is maybe the best in all of baseball.
Well, before we get started, the Cubs today announced the signing of 8 players from this year's draft, including left-hander Rob Zastryzny out of the University of Missouri, the 41st overall pick. The Cubs grabbed him in the 2nd round. Zachary Godley, 10th round, right-hander, catcher Cale Brockmeyer in the 16th round among those inked. So they're now pros and in the Cubs chain. 10-game winner Adam Wainwright facing the Cubs for the first time this season, and he'll face this Cubs Southwest starting lineup. It includes Luis Valbuena again in the leadoff spot. He's been very good in that role. Castro making his 69th start in the Cubs' 69th game. Scherholtz batting third with a 9-game hitting streak. Soriano cleans up. Sweeney's in center. Ransom in for Rizzo at first. Castillo the catcher. Barney homered last night. And Samardzija, the pitcher, hits ninth.
Cardinals a very good defensive club as well. They've made the fewest errors of any team in the National League. Their outfield is Holiday, Jay, and Beltran. Third to first is Freeze, Cosma, Carpenter, and Alan Craig. Yadier Molina. Multiple Gold Gloves behind the plate for our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher Adam Wainwright. He hasn't been perfect, but he's been really, really good. 10-3 with a 2.18, 5-0 in his last 5 with a 1.64 ERA in that stretch. Strikeout to walk numbers just outstanding. Doesn't give up home runs, just 2 long balls allowed by the big right-hander.
Bill Welke is the home plate umpire tonight. Michigan native and a former Western Michigan Bronco. Adrian Johnson, Fieldon Culbreth, and DJ Rayburn, who ejected Dale Swaim last night. He's at third.
Wainwright works quickly, throws a lot of strikes. Fastball, cut fastball, real good curveball, and an occasional change. Typically keeps the ball down around the knees.
Fastball strike on Valbuena, and we're underway. Luis has reached base 5 times in 2 games as the Cubs leadoff man. Fly ball out into shallow center. Coming over is John Jay to make the grab at left center for out number 1. Wainwright has had only 1 no decision in his 14 starts. And we'll say it again, 9 walks in 14 starts. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah, we talk about, pitchers looking for a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, or, if a guy's 3 or 4-to-1, that's really, really good. Well, this guy is approaching 11 strikeouts for every walk.
7 times he hasn't walked anybody. Here's Castro. And swings through a fastball at 93. Wainwright, a Gold Glover in 09, an All-Star in 2010. He then missed the following year after Tommy John surgery. Many observers at the time pronounced the Cardinals dead when word got out before the season that he wouldn't pitch. And they went on and won the World Series. Came back last year, and just before this season signed a 5-year $97.5 million extension. One and two.
Yeah, here's some good news for you. We're giving you all this stuff that makes it look like this guy's going to be impossible to beat. Here in St. Louis against the Cubs, he's not been very good. He's been great at Wrigley.
Here's the 1-2. Hard hit grounder right to Cosma, the shortstop. He gets him. So 2 outs. It'll bring up Nate Scherholtz.
What makes Wainwright so good, why he's been so good this year, he's been able to command the strike zone without throwing a lot of pitches over the heart of the plate. I mean, you see a guy that doesn't walk anybody and you think, well, all right, well, he's just challenging people. But he does not yield a high batting average, and he's only allowed 2 home runs. We look at the batting average on first pitches. That tells you he's a guy who's been able to pick away at corners with that first pitch fastball. He's not just grooving it and say, go ahead, boys, take a whack at it.
Scherholtz now, I wouldn't say entrenched in the 3 spot, but It certainly hasn't slowed him down. He's tied his career high with a 9-game hitting streak. I think the last few days, JD, the lineups Dale has put out there have been right on the mark. I mean, he's got Valbuena. With DeJesus out, it's a clear choice to be the leadoff guy. As Sherholtz now with a 10-gamer. He's going to try for a double, and he's going to get it standing.
A little choppy as he took the turn at first base, but it proved not to be an issue as Holiday had to go all the way to the line to pursue that slicing line drive. Yeah, I'm with you. I really like Valbuena at the top of the order. Sherholtz has been the best hitter for a good while now on this club, so why not put him in the 3-hole?
Just think, you know, you get 65, 70 games into a season. We've seen Castro move around in the order. We've seen Rizzo go from 3 to 5. Dale has decided that the body of work is big enough with this offense, and now he's just going to move parts around based on what's happening at that time, as opposed to just saying this guy hits second, this guy hits third, this guy hits fourth.
Yeah, well,
it's just time to make changes.
And the players basically have forced his hand to do that. I mean, I'm sure Dale, like any other manager, would be able to make out his lineup card on opening day and watch his team go out and perform up to expectations and just leave it alone. That almost never happens. Teams struggle, guys get hot and cold. So I think it makes perfect sense to move guys around if there's a righty on the mound versus a lefty.
I mean, we hadn't seen the Cardinals since what, early May, and just before a series I usually kind of write down a fairly common batting order just as a template, and really the only change in the last 6 or 7 weeks for the Cardinals is Freese and Jay have flip-flopped because Freese was cold to start the year, now is hot, and they've had the same lineup. There's a breaking ball strike, 2-2 for the first 2 games. So Mike Matheny right now just can write him in, go out and get him.
Yeah, well, they're 45 and 25, and they lead the league in runs per game. So that's a lineup that doesn't need to be tinkered with. It's tinker-free.
Yeah, writes itself, so to speak. We'll see what's next after the curve. This time he goes with a cutter. And it's 3-2.
Showed you that breakdown on Wainwright, home and road against the Cubs. Overall, he's 6-5 with a 4.46 ERA. Our first look at him this year. Last year he made 4 starts against the Cubs, was 0-1 with an ERA above 6. One particularly bad start really impacting those numbers.
Cubs are going to get the lead as Sherholtz will come around to score. Soriano had a pretty cold start to this trip, gets his 2nd hit and RBI of the trek, and it's 1-0. This all coming after 2 were out.
Back-to-back double, Sherholtz, Soriano. Giving the Cubs the early lead. No surprise, the Cubs hit a ton of doubles.
Ryan Sweeney, the center fielder, and he bounces one foul behind the plate. We talked so much about the cut fastball. It seems like 8 out of 10 starters we see now throw it. At one time, Adam Wainwright threw his slider almost 22% of the time. But he has basically scrapped that pitch in favor of the cutter.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's jargon too. You know, when one guy calls a cutter, like that one he threw to Soriano, that looked to me like a slider. For me, a cut fastball stays on plane. A cutter or a slider has depth to it.
Slider was about 84, 85. The one we saw was about 89. That one drilled to deep right. Ryan Sweeney with a home run, a 2-run shot. And it's 3-0. Adam Wainwright might want to wear the road grays when he faces the Cubs, even at home.
2 quick outs and then ambush. Double dinger. Again, this is a guy that had won 5 in a row with an ERA of 1.64 in that stretch. Not used to getting treated like this. Our Ford home run replay shows Ryan Sweeney going deep for the 2nd time in a Cub uniform. High fives, hugs, handshakes, all the way around.
So Jeff Samardzija with some early run support. Cody Ransom getting the start at first base for Rizzo.
It's just the 3rd home run that Wainwright has allowed this year.
Came in having allowed 25 earned runs in 14 starts. He's given up 3 here in the first inning. And had allowed only 4 in the first inning all year prior to this 3-run Cubs outburst. Enough runs against this offense. The 3-1 pitch hit high and deep left field. They've gone back to back. For 4-0.
No, Adam, you can't have a mulligan. I talked about him not throwing cookies early in the count, but there on that 3-1, he was willing to throw this fastball right over the heart of the plate. And he picked the wrong guy to do it to. Cody Ransom has proven many times already this year that he can handle a fastball out over the plate like that. That's his 8th home run.
First off a righty.
Jeff Samardzija has to be sitting in that Cubs dugout thinking it's Christmas morning. Oh boy, is this great.
Double homer with 2 outs. Knee-high fastball on Wellington Castillo. 6 for his last 12.
Another double here would be a good full house. Yeah, he's got some funky action on it. You better run. He almost worked its way back into fair territory. Adam Wainwright has allowed 4 runs here. And perhaps you're wondering, I wonder how many times he's allowed 4 runs in a game all year. The answer is once before tonight. Gave up 5 earnings to the Brewers back on May 4th in Milwaukee.
had 4 starts in which he's allowed none. 2 others in which he's allowed 1. Cosma showing good range to his left, and the inning comes to an end. Wainwright had allowed 2 homers in his first 14 starts. He's doubled that total here tonight. First it was Ryan Sweeney with a 2-run homer. Ransom followed that. Cubs get 4 in all, and Samardzija will take the mound.
The Southwest Airlines nationwide sale lets you go from working hard to hardly working. Big sales that help you get away. That's how we fly. Act now to grab flights for as low as $59 one way to select nonstop destinations. These fares won't last long, so hurry and book now only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Is it?
It's beautiful.
Could you imagine if this was for sale?
There's a mortgage that's right for you.
We could get another dog.
A baby.
Like a puppy? You mean like a baby dog?
BMO Harris Bank.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
For nothing, the Cubs have the lead. The Cardinals line up this way offensively, brought to you by Southwest. Same 1 through 8 as last night. Carpenter might be an all-star this year. Carlos Beltran always in that discussion. Same for Matt Holliday. Same for Alan Craig. Same for Yadier Molina. Freeze has been hot lately. Jay in center. Pete Cosma, the shortstop. And Adam Wainwright, the pitcher.
Well, we'll take a look at the Cubs now. Defensively, Sweeney in center, flanked by Sherholtz and Soriano. The one significant change on the infield, you see Cody Ransom there at first base, making his 7th career start at first.
Jeff Samardzija coming off a no decision in his last outing, a season high 116 pitches, gave up 10 hits.
Yeah, he also walked 4 in that game. There's our Lexus profile on Jeff. 3 and 7, 346 earned run average. Last 2 times out, knocked around pretty good. So nice for him to get this early lead where he can relax, do his thing.
1-1 on Carpenter. Lined and a diving stab by Castro. Playing Carpenter up the middle. Ball seemed to be knuckling just a little bit. 1 away.
A nice play here by Castro. This ball really well hit. Had some funky action on it. And one as a shortstop, you're probably not sure whether you're going to play this ball on a hop or catch it in the air. And he stays with the play and is able to snag it. And Luis Valbuena with the out call, just in case the umpire didn't get it.
Beltran swats that one out into the alley. It's got 2 written all over it.
Well, that's the one thing you notice when you look at the numbers on Samardzija. We talked about Wainwright, the guy who throws a lot of strikes but doesn't necessarily attack the heart of the plate early. That's not the case with Jeff. His game plan is to go ahead and throw it in there, try to get ahead early, and then expand the zone, use his split finger pitch. Saw Beltran take advantage of it, swinging early. We'll see if that's the game plan for the Cardinal hitters.
Let's see, 423rd career double and a 2,140th career hit for Beltran. He's got 350 homers, put together a really solid major league career. So is this guy, Matt Holliday, and he takes 96 on the outside edge.
Yeah, that one on the corner. not to get all numbery on you, but talking about that 0-0 count. When hitters put the first pitch in play against Jeff, they're hitting .422.
Going to go in this time. With Jam Holiday, and he bounces right to Valbuena. 2 down. Here's Alan Craig, the cleanup man. 0 for 3 with a sac fly last night. His 52nd RBI. He's only hit 6 home runs. Craig hitting .435 with runners in scoring position.
He is attacking early.
He doesn't even lead the team. Beltran at .460.
Yeah, it's kind of otherworldly what they're doing with runners in scoring position. 340-ish. Yawning back there. We're just getting started.
I got a question, partner. All right. Is that a new structure here in St. Louis? Because it seems like there's always a crane in the background. They have been working on construction out there in that little area since they built this place.
Yeah, they're going to build a whole new, like a plaza back there.
When are they going to build it?
I don't know. It's taking a while. Supposed to be kind of a baseball dedicated area with some retail and stuff for kiddos.
Roller to Darwin Barney. Good shutdown first for Samardzija after his team gave him 4 runs of support. He'll bat second in the second.
So what's the deal on this?
Well, the Odyssey clearance event is happening now. They hold their value better than any other minivan, according to ALG. And Honda is KBB.com's most trusted brand.
Wow.
It's perfect. Well, your timing is perfect.
Hurry into the Honda 2013 Odyssey clearance event and get a great deal on a roomy and stylish Honda Odyssey. Named a 2013 IIHS Top Safety Pick.
Find hot deals during the Menards Summer Sale. Get the best brands, best quality, and best price, period, on a great selection of paint. Dutch Boy DuraClean interior paint provides a durable, smooth appearance that complements any decor. It has a beautiful look that stays clean and has a self-priming formula for one-coat coverage. With a lifetime guarantee right now, save $5 a gallon on flat, eggshell, satin, and semi-gloss paint, and $25 on 5-gallon pails.
Save big money at Menards.
4-zip Cubs as we get into the second. And a reminder, do not miss the Cubs as they host the division rival Cardinals Thursday, July 11th at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans at the game receive a Cubs tote bag, compliments of the private bank. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Well, they usually say about guys like Wainwright, you're going to get to him early, because eventually they'll settle in. They got to him early for 4. And we'll see what transpires here in the second. Barney with a home run late last night. Second career homer on the road. Was off their closer, Edward Mujica.
Cardinals had to make an early move to their bullpen last night. Starter Shelby Miller left after 5 with a cramping in his right calf muscle. Normally, Mike Matheny can count on Adam Wainwright pitching deep into a ball game. It's going to be more of a challenge here tonight with his 4-run deficit, and he worked awfully hard in that first.
I guess Miller was dehydrated, leading to the cramping. The 2-1 slowly hit on the ground, and the play made by Carpenter. Here's Samardzija. He's got a home run. He hit 2 in spring training. We got a rain out tonight in New York. Dodgers Yankees. Dodgers first trip to the Bronx since the '81 World Series. So they'll play a day-nighter tomorrow. Mark Teixeira on the DL. Wrist injury. Kevin Youkilis with a back is going to be out at least 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to have surgery.
Yeah, back. Herniated disc. Samardzija pops. Carpenter calls for it. Send us your comments on tonight's game through Twitter using hashtag Cubs Talk. And we'll read our AT&T tweet of the game a little later on.
What's that, frosting on nachos?
I'm thinking sour cream. That would ruin it for me. I'm not a sour cream guy. I'm all for the cheese and the other fixins with no G. Gotta say fixins, not fixings.
That'll light you up.
Luis Valbuena lines to right. It's going to one-hop the wall, and that'll be a double. Well, they rallied with 2 outs in the first, doing the same here in the second.
There's your full house. Doubles over home runs. Extra base hits aplenty here for the Cubs tonight. 3 2-baggers, a couple home runs, and Valbuena continues to swing the bat very well, and a very nice fit in this leadoff spot here. It's with 2 outs, nobody on. He gets himself into scoring position. It's an asset too. You like at the top of the order, a guy who can create a little something with some pop in his bat. Doesn't have to be the speedy type at the top of the order who gets on and steals a base. If you can get extra base hits, that works just fine.
Strike on Castro. The kick, the pitch. Curveball missed outside. Only game 4 of this long season series. Cubs have dropped 2 of the first 3.
Sterling got caught guessing breaking ball there. Couldn't pull the trigger on that fastball. That was a good chunk of the plate.
Aired out to right. Beltran with the catch, inning over after 1.5. It's 4-zip Cubs.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by White House Down in theaters June 28th.
Sergeant Kale demonstrates a lack of respect for authority. Sergeant Kale has raw potential but seems determined not to realize it. Why do you want to be in the Secret Service?
I can't think of a more important job than protecting the president. You ready?
There's only one way to find out.
White House Down.
What the hell are you getting in the back for? Sorry, force a habit.
Rated PG-13.
The GMC Terrain. Color touch sound system. Bluetooth connectivity.
Call Jen.
This is smart. OnStar app ready. The 2013 GMC Terrain. Over 100 standard features that make you more capable. That's professional grade. Lease this 2013 Terrain with an EPA estimated 32 highway MPG for around $199 per month.
No one knows why it happened. After 23 years of tossing his socks on the floor, Jason Donahue had a realization that the hamper in his room was mere inches from the spot where he usually tossed his socks. So rather than leaving them on the floor again, Jason traveled the extra distance and dropped them in the hamper, proving one thing to his wife, Brenda. Anything is possible. Like with a new 4th of July millionaire raffle, a $500,000 winner each week and $2 million winners on the 4th.
Cubs leading 4-0. Yadier Molina will lead off the second, and he's the subject of a Coors Light freeze. Cam called safe on a bang-bang play. Looked like he was out. Cost Travis Wood probably 2 runs. And it also cost Dale Swaim a few $100s. He got ejected by the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn.
Yeah, in a post-game interview on the field that was piped in through the ballpark, Molina said he was out. He was the guy working for the Cardinals broadcast asked him, were you safe or out at home? And normally when that happens, a player will kind of maybe grin sheepishly and say, I'm not so sure. Molina said, no, I was out.
The statute of limitations had already run out. We're going to go back and change it. He's giving Castillo a little extra time. Professional courtesy.
Wellington looks a little dazed after taking this blow. Waiting for that phone to stop ringing. Feel your pain, man.
Good slider from Samardzija. It's 1-2 on Molina. He had the game-winning hit in Game 1.
Molina's been really good against Samardzija. 7 out of 15. That's a .467 batting average. No, they got to dial it up a notch when they face Jeff Samardzija, one of the best fastballs in all of baseball. That one clocked at 97. His average fastball velocity 95. Four-seamer, two-seamer, and then occasionally he'll cut his fastball.
Grounded into left for a base hit. Castillo wanted that one way down, and Samardzija, after the hit went through, looked back at his catcher and pointed at himself, saying that was on me.
And 2 starts ago, I believe it was, Jeff struggled with his split finger pitch, and this was the splitter that stayed up, stayed on the inner half.
Here's David Freese. 12-game home hitting streak. He had 1 knock last night. Molina with a very short lead as Freese takes ball 1 low.
It's interesting, the Cardinals with this great offense, but they don't hit a lot of home runs and they don't steal a lot of bases. Normally you think of a club that's going to score as many runs as they do would have to do one or the other. Would be a real power-laden team or have a bunch of speedsters. You just have a bunch of line drive hitters. High average hitters, they work walks. Just give you good tough at bats.
Throw goes to second, relay in plenty of time. Goes 5-4-3.
Under a little pressure, Barney up and over. Gets the job done. Molina kind of measuring his steps there heading into second base. Does get a piece of Barney, but the ball was already in the air. I don't know if he'll get credit for a delivery sack on that or not.
A pressure. You get a pressure.
You get a quarterback hit.
Yeah. Strike 1 on John Jay. For 12 against Samardzija. Matt Harvey was electric today in Atlanta. First of a day-nighter. Mets won the game 4-3, took a no-hitter into the 7th. And it's now 6-1.
Career high 13 strikeouts for Harvey in that game. I was watching that back in the hotel. The first hit of the game was just a little chopper just to the right of the mound. It had to be ruled a hit, but what a tough way to lose a no-hitter.
That was Jason Hayward breaking up the no-no. Called strike 3 at 97, well located. Leadoff single, but the double play erased that. It's 4-0 Cubs as we head to the 3rd.
You can choose to take your chances, or you can choose the Infiniti JX, the world's first luxury crossover that can sense what's behind you, even when you can't, and can apply the brakes, even before you do. The Infiniti JX, with backup collision intervention system. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Spring Event to lease a JX for only $469 a month. Infiniti, inspired performance.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
The Verizon Share Everything plan for small business lets you connect up to 25 devices on one easy-to-manage plan. That means your smartphone, her BlackBerry, his laptop, Mark's smartphone.
But I'm still on vacation.
Still on the plan.
Nice.
So is his tablet, that guy's hotspot, the intern's tablet.
The intern gets a tablet?
Everyone's devices. His, hers, oh, sorry. All easier to manage on the Share Everything plan for small business. Connecting more so you can do more. That's powerful. Verizon. Get the BlackBerry Q10 for $199.99.
It's got performance with efficiency. It's got all you want in a car as alive as you are. Introducing the supercharged V6 and turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that gets 30 miles per gallon highway from Jaguar. At last, you can roar responsibly. Jaguar.
For great offers, visit your Chicagoland Jaguar retailer today.
Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA Red Line stops at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. For drivers, DeVry University offers remote parking and bus service for $6. Or ride your bike and use the Cubs courtesy bike check, sponsored by World Bicycle Relief. It's at Waveland near the corner of Clark. For details, go to Cubs.com or call the CTA hotline. Nate Scherholtz doubled to start a 2-out 4-run rally in the opening inning. fouls straight back. Strike one. Wainwright tied with Max Scherzer for the major league lead with 10 wins. Curve strike 0-2 against the Cubs, who are currently on the roster. They had 120 collective plate appearances against Wainwright and no home runs coming into the game tonight. Well, as we saw in the first inning, Sweeney and Ransom both went deep. So we give you information, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to be the same.
Stocks.
Yeah.
Past performance does not guarantee future results. Yeah, 10 wins for Wainwright. Scherzer's 10-0. First Tiger to start 10-0 since 1909.
Bounced right to Craig, and that takes him to first. Soriano gave the Cubs the lead with an RBI double. Day-night doubleheader in Boston. The Red Sox beat the Rays 5-1. They were delayed 2 hours and 59 minutes in the 5th inning. And that game had already been postponed because of an April 12th rainout. So the Red Sox invited fans who stayed to come back for game 2 for free. But game 1 ended after game 2 was scheduled to start. We'll get foul out of play.
In that split doubleheader in Atlanta, it's Zach Wheeler making his major league debut for the Mets, and he's pitched scoreless baseball into the 6th. 0-0 ball game.
Wainwright will just walk it over to the bag himself. Clay Buchholz goes to the DL.
What's wrong with him?
Neck. He's 9-0 with a 171. David Ross 7-day DL for a concussion.
Keep an eye on the Jays in that American League East.
Yeah.
They're on a pretty good roll. Pitching's been outstanding. There's a lot of power in their lineup. They've hit 3 home runs tonight. They lead the Rockies 8-3. Looking for their 7th consecutive win. Wouldn't count them out.
That's the kind of division at the beginning of the year could have been totally reversed, according to some prognosticators.
Yeah, very difficult to draw a beat on that one.
Zach Wheeler making his big league debut in game 2 in Atlanta tonight. They're scoreless in the 6th. So Paul Maholm and the rookie Wheeler are dealing. Wheeler's walked 4. He struck out 6 through 5. Two the count.
One thing about a guy like Wainwright, these good, solid veteran pitchers, they get knocked around early, but you don't chase them out of the strike zone.
That's his first punch out of the night. So he's got 98 on the year, still just 9 walks. The Cubs, however, have a 4-0 lead.
Refreshment. Grab a frost-brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
Motor Trend asked truck owners who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge.
Ford, I'm impressed.
Ford F-150 with EcoBoost technology versus Chevy Silverado.
Silverado is struggling right now. The F-150 just totally outperformed it.
It made towing that huge boat around very easy.
I'm very surprised that it's a V6. I would pick the Ford if I had my choice between the two.
Now get 1,000 trade assist on F-150 and choose either 0 for 60 or 6250 in cash savings plus 1,000 bonus cash.
Mark Shanowski inviting you to join us for Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC after our Cubs coverage. Will Marian Hossa be ready for Game 4? And how about that struggling Hawks power play? Plus, Anthony Rizzo gets benched tonight.
Tomorrow night, Comcast Sportsnet is the place, or the place, however you prefer it to go, after Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final. Don't miss Blackhawks post-game live with Pat Boyle and Steve Conroy. They'll take you live to the Garden for the players' take on the game. Blackhawks post-game lines presented by Hawk Ford. And it's tomorrow night after Game 4 only on Comcast Sportsnet. One strike. Pete Kozma, the shortstop. Wainwright next, and then Carpenter. Bounced in and out of the glove. Nice play by Valbuena. He got him at first.
Fancy. No problem. Hits the reject button, snags it with the bare hand, and gets his man. Anybody could have done it the other way. You got to be special to do it that way.
1-0 on Wainwright.
You can swing it.
A good athlete.
Pretty good football player too, I believe, back in high school.
He's got 6 career home runs. Two and one.
Good pitch. Maybe just a little bit low. Low cheddar here, 95 miles an hour. On the plate, was it high enough? Could have been.
Gives him that one. It's 3-2. Sharply hit grounder. Gonna scoot to the right for Barney.
Barney's always ready. Never gets caught unaware. And I love the way he moves his feet so quickly to get in position. Some guys may have tried to backhand that ball, but if he can, he's going to work really hard to square up behind those ground balls.
Called strike to Carpenter. Does not wear batting gloves. Those guys really stand out these days. Barney this time. Oh, nice play there on that bounce. It really came up on him. Excellent adjustment. Cubs with very good defense here in the third inning. Valbuena to get Cosma, and then Barney to get Carpenter. 4-0.
Lots of cars are fun to drive, but are they also this one is. It's the Veloster from Hyundai. Get one for just $179 a month.
Visit myhyundaichicago.com.
Hey, can I help you? I can help him. Oh, it's okay. I got this. No, guys, I got it. Hey, I can do it.
No. Hey, guys, stop. Sorry, they do that. Now, how can I help you?
Show your loyalty with the BMO Harris Blackhawks Debit MasterCard. BMO Harris Bank, proud sponsor and loyal fan of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Excuse me, do you have all the popular smartphones?
We do.
AT&T?
Yes.
T-Mobile?
Sure.
Sprint? Verizon?
Got it.
Do you make commission on this?
No.
Do you have all the plans?
We do.
Does this make my head look big?
No.
Can you activate all of these?
Yes, we can.
Can you transfer my contacts?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm pretty popular.
No problem.
You're good. What number am I thinking of?
9.
Yes.
Right now, get a free Droid DNA by HTC with a 2-year activation on Verizon. Only at Best Buy.
Tomorrow, the Cubs and Cards are back in action on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as Castro and the Cubs look to take down their fiercest rival on the road. Don't miss Cubs Cardinals tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
This fourth inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Cubs Destinations travel packages provide fans with the most unique behind-the-scenes VIP Cubs game experiences available. Take this opportunity to start your summer in Seattle, June 28th through the 30th, where you can see your Cubs take on the Mariners at Safeco Field. This package includes great tickets, first-class hotel accommodations, a special Cubs gift bag, VIP tour of Safeco Field, and a private meet and greet with a current Cubs player.
Cody Ransom out in the right center. One away.
This showcase can be yours. For more information, visit Cubs.com.
One pitch, one out. Here comes Castillo. And I have the most awesome story of the day, and it has nothing to do with baseball. Okay. But I've got to get it in there.
I'm intrigued.
Okay. A guy in Alberta, Canada, Black Diamond, Alberta, Canada, did something that we would never suggest anybody does. But I don't believe anybody got hurt, so I'm really glad he did it. He got pulled over for speeding. He was going 180 kilometers per hour. That's about 112 miles per hour. And when the police officer pulled him over, his excuse was, I was drying off my car. He had just gotten it washed. That is either the greatest excuse I've ever heard or the craziest way to dry off your car. So he has been suspended from driving for 45 days, but he's got a clean car.
Car's clean record is not. I mean, I've heard of driving around a little bit. Yeah. Dude, my car was wet. What do you expect?
Apparently, he had never heard of a towel. Did not say what kind of car he was driving, but I would hope it was something really expensive. Ball one on Barney.
I imagine that's a pretty steep fine for driving it.
Yeah, it was like $800.
Yeah.
One and two the count. Back with you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Edwin Jackson, the former Cardinal, will face Jake Westbrook. Second start for Westbrook off the disabled list. Series will conclude Thursday evening when Scott Feldman and Lance Lynn will match up.
We're making a bid to make a return trip to the All-Star game. Jackson and Feldman coming off outstanding starts.
Barney chased and strikes out. 8 pitches for Wainwright in the fourth. Cubs still lead 4-0.
Kelley Blue Book says Nissan Rogue is designed to stand out from the competition. Bet Honda and Toyota never saw that coming. Nissan Rogue with class exclusive around view monitor. Save up to $5,300. Shop at choosenissan.com.
Yes, 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 yes! Yes! We did it! Yes, we did! Yeah, we did it!
Yeah, see you, bud. Later.
Honey, who was that?
Who, that guy? I don't know.
Get caught up in the excitement. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hey, who's this? What's better than latching in your child's seat? Only doing it once. Easy Flex seating comes standard in the new Nissan Pathfinder. Easy does it. Choose Pathfinder with 0% APR financing. Shop at choosenissan.com.
Check out the Audi Legend Suite on the Nuveen Investment Suite level. Watch the game with a former Cubs player and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub with a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest. The Audi Legend Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more information, visit cubs.com/suites.
Good start for the Cubs. Pounced on Adam Wainwright for 4 2-out first inning runs. 3 coming on back-to-back homers. And Jeff Samard has given up 2 hits through 3, but no runs.
Yeah, I would make the case that Samardzija has done what you're supposed to do when given an early lead and really attack the Cardinal hitters. But he always does that. He's very aggressive. Tried to catch a corner that time. Beltran jumped on that first pitch off of him for a double. First time up, you'll recall. So this time trying to work the edge a little bit.
Beltran hoping he can get to the World Series. He's been a terrific postseason performer. 34 games and an OPS of 1252 with 14 home runs. but he's been on 3 different teams that have lost Game 7 of the NLCS, the Astros, Mets, and these Cardinals. And was it not Adam Wainwright who struck him out looking on a curveball when he was with the Mets to end Game 7 back in 06?
That sounds right.
Yep. That's when Wainwright was closing games for St. Louis, 3-1. Left field corner, slicing, foul. Boy, that was pretty close to a home run, but it was foul. No argument from Jose Oquendo.
Now, this is something you used to never see years and years ago. Players have gotten so big and so strong. Here's a case where Beltran was clearly beat by that 3-1 fastball. He was late on it. Still strong enough to almost go deep, just missing that home run.
He's up a 3-2 pitch, and there's ball 4, and that's the first Samardzija free pass.
Talk to players from back in the day in the 60s and 70s, and they always talk about having to get the head out to pull the ball to hit home runs. Rarely would they go deep the other way. And look at this guy. The football player.
Yeah, recruited by Oklahoma State to play quarterback. High school All-American in football and baseball. The Oklahoma State Player of the Year in both sports, 1998. Swing and a miss. The best Matt Holliday note is that Jeremy Burnitz once babysat him when Burnitz played for Matt's dad at Oklahoma State. They would later be big league teammates and hit back-to-back homers twice in the same game in 2004.
That's a good one. I'd never heard that story.
That made Bernie feel pretty old. Chopper not hit very hard. They get the out, and now Beltran has to be tagged, and Ransom will just run him down. So that goes 4-3 on the Cubs' second double play turn.
And nothing Beltran could do as a base runner. You're taught there not to be tagged by the second baseman, so he slams on the brakes. Barney starts to run at him, realizes he's got him pushed back far enough so that he's kind of in no man's land. Execute the double play. Couldn't do it any better than that. Perfectly executed by Darwin Barney.
Craig with 2 outs.
Samardzija with just 1 walk, 1 strikeout in this game. In some of his high strikeout games, pitch count gets to be a bit of an issue. So far tonight, it is not. 43 pitches made with 2 outs in the 4th. He's well positioned to work deep into this ball game.
Free and easy tonight. 97 on that one.
Jeff winless in his last 3 starts. A couple of no decisions and a loss. His last win was that dominant complete game shutout performance over the White Sox.
Swing and a miss to end the inning. His second of the night. 4 in the books. Cubs 4, Cardinals nothing.
The Southwest Airlines nationwide sale lets you go from working hard to hardly working. Big sales that help you get away. That's how we fly. Act now to grab flights for as low as $59 one way to select nonstop destinations. These fares won't last long, so hurry and book now only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Whenever you want, wherever you go, your favorite shows are there.
How does that work?
With DirecTV Everywhere. We've added Showtime with shows like Dexter and Homeland, so you can watch the same shows you love at home.
That should be a good thing.
On your cell phone, tablet, or laptop.
Why not?
Catch up on previous seasons anytime, anywhere.
I'm in.
Plus, we're adding more of your favorites all the time. Start watching now at directv.com/everywhere.
It's our pride in the red, white, and blue. It's our commitment that always comes shining through. It's everything that you need. The hardest working people in America find value at Farm and Fleet.
Cubs, Cardinals, tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. Happened fast after Adam Wainwright got the first 2 outs of the ball game. Sherholtz doubled. Soriano doubled. 1-0 Cubs. Sweeney homered. 3-0 Cubs. And then Ransom to deep left.
Pretty impressive show put on by the Cubs after 2 quick outs. You know, among National League batters with at least 75 plate appearances, Nate Sherholtz and Cody Ransom rank 8th and 9th in slugging percentage.
Curve strike.
Both at 5. Well, they're tied actually. 560 slugging average for that pair.
Kozma gets Samardzija. Buena 1 for 2 with a double.
Ransom and Sherholtz don't show up on the league leaderboard because they don't have enough plate appearances to qualify.
Right.
Part-time players, but obviously when they play, very, very effective. So you would argue, why don't they play more? Well, they're putting up those good numbers because they're being put in favorable situations.
Craig to the bag.
So out there where all the construction is going on, you got to note that's going to be the St. Louis Ballpark Village.
Okay.
Cardinals Hall of Fame will be out there. A Cardinal themed restaurant. Probably get yourself a Aussie burger or something. Budweiser Brew House, PBR Cowboy Bar. And I'm not sure when that's supposed to be done.
been under construction for a while, and you've got some great views here that you didn't have at the old enclosed Busch Stadium. You could kind of see the top of the arch, but now you get a good look at the arch, the skyline here, but there was always that eyesore right there in left center. And so good to know that they're going to have a little ballpark village. I'm sure it'll do very well. You're heading over to Mike Shannon's tonight after the game for a little late night radio.
Yeah, I'm going to do the radio show with Mike.
Fly ball out into right. Another 8-pitch inning for Wainwright, who has settled in, but not before the Cubs got him.